You ever hear glass break so loud it makes the whole world stop breathing for a second? That was my reality that day. 1 second I'm staring out at the pines thinking about whether to brew another cup of burnt coffee. The next, the window explodes and I'm face to face with 8 men in tactical gear, boots crunching over what's left of my quiet. You know that cold clarity that hits right before something big goes down. That's what I felt as I counted heads, noted weapons, and realized they weren't there to talk about overdue lawn maintenance. Their leader, thick-necked, dead-eyed, AR-15 slung loose like it belonged there, started reading off a document. By order of the Pine Ridge Homeowners Association, you're being evicted. 60 seconds to vacate. Yeah, that actually happened. The paperwork looked faker than Monopoly money, but the threat in his voice was real. I'd heard that tone plenty. Afghanistan, Syria, anytime someone's power trip gets backed up by a weapon and a paycheck. 15 years as a SEAL teaches you the difference between authority and bluster, and this was all bluster. I stepped outside, let the sun catch the scars up and down my left arm. Little reminders of IEDs and friends who didn't make it. I wasn't about to flinch now. Let me see your credentials, I called out, steady as ever, making sure the whole neighborhood could hear. The badge he flashed was missing a hologram, and the serial number might, as well have said 123 fake. You boys are impersonating law enforcement. Federal crime, just so you know. Old Mrs. Patterson from down the street had her phone up, recording. Jim Morrison, no, not that Jim, was glaring from his porch, hands itching for his deer rifle. Then the radio clipped to Muscle Man's vest crackled. Female voice, all clipped consonants and fake authority. Status report. He replied, target is non-compliant, requesting permission to proceed. Her name was Karen Blackstone, Pine Ridge's Queen Bee, HOA president, local menace, and the last person you wanted holding power over your peace. Negative on physical force. We need this for the cameras. Document his refusal. Her PR instincts, always thinking 2 steps ahead. They gave me 5 minutes. I checked my old G-Shock, same one I wore through Fallujah, and gave a little internal smile. 2 hours before, I'd texted 4 old brothers in arms, Raven activated. No details. They knew what it meant. My son, Tyler, 16, scared, filming on his phone, whispered, Dad, what's happening? I squeezed his shoulder. Son, these men think guns make them strong. But sometimes fear's your ally. And right now, they should be afraid. Tyler steadied. I saw the change in his eyes, the same switch I'd flipped years ago. The contractors circled closer. Time's up, Carter. Walk out or get carried. That was their move, thinking intimidation would do what bullets hadn't. What they didn't know? My friends were in position, and every second was being broadcast live to a crowd that started small, then grew. Hundreds, thousands, people hungry for the truth. Flash forward 3 days. The mercs had slunk off, but Karen was still playing her game. There she was on the front page, ribbon cutting, Community Hero of the Year. Meanwhile, the local news ran a hit piece calling me a dangerous veteran squatting on community land. She knew how to play both sides of a story, but what she didn't know was I'd been digging. The deed to my cabin? Bought by my dad in '87, ironclad, years before the HOA even existed. Karen's paper castle couldn't cross my property line, no matter how many fake badges she printed. She sent me a letter, all, let's be civil, and mutually beneficial resolution. I showed Tyler, then handed him a little pen. Looked normal, but packed 6 hours of audio. In North Carolina, son, you only need one-party consent. His eyes lit up. You're going to record her? Yup, because sometimes the best weapon isn't a gun, it's evidence. The meeting was textbook. Karen in a Navy suit, lawyer at her side, big buyout offer on the table. You can take $250,000, or we make your life difficult. She talked about building code violations, environmental hazards, legal hell for years if I refused. But I just smiled, asked a few pointed questions about Griffin development and her foundation. She slipped, admitted more than she should, and my little pen caught every word. That night, Tyler posted the audio. Within hours, 100,000 people had heard Karen admit to a $15 million land grab. But here's the twist you don't see coming. I got a DM from someone calling himself Pine Ridge Truth. Turns out it's Karen's son, Brad. She's planning something big. Not just your cabin, dozens of families. We met at a dingy Starbucks, Brad shaking, spilling everything. She's targeting old folks, vets, anyone who can't fight back. Keeps files on everyone. I've been copying her records for months. He agreed to wear a wire, help us expose the whole operation. But Karen wasn't done. She filed a complaint with the sheriff, claimed I'd made terrorist threats. That's how far she'd go to protect her scam. I pinged my team. Raven escalation authorized. This was no longer just about me. At 2:30 a.m., the next attack came. The mercs stormed my cabin. Same leader, same script. Only this time Tyler was live streaming to 800 viewers. I walked out, hands visible. You're not cops. You're committing felony home invasion, live, on the internet. They waved a warrant, badly forged, missing a real seal, wrong signature. This is fake, I said, holding it to Tyler's camera. That's when Brad stepped out, streaming to his mom's Facebook page. 2,300 people are watching you commit felonies. The mercs panicked. I hit the circuit breaker, plunged us into black. Tyler's phone kept rolling in night mode. Within seconds, the mercs scattered, boots scrambling over broken glass, retreating into the woods. No shots fired, just digital warfare. My guys moved on the HOA building. 12 stories of arrogance and dirty secrets. Jake hacked the cameras. Sam cracked the network. Nick killed the backup power. They found evidence. Fake violations, forged reports, harassment campaigns. Brad, undercover, confirmed it all. 300 families targeted. Millions laundered through the community foundation. Karen's son, the secret hero, streamed everything. Even called out his mom on live video. She planted drugs, worked with politicians, tried to frame veterans. Here's proof. The whole country watched the takedown unfold in real time. The FBI rolled in, led by Major Sarah Whitaker, my old CO, now running domestic terrorism ops. Karen tried to play the victim, but every lie was on camera, every file in the Fed's hands. Her final words, "You don't know who you're dealing with," rang hollow as they cuffed her, and the crowd outside the building erupted in celebration. Families burned violation notices, neighbors cheered, and Tyler's livestream hit 4 million views. 6 months later, Karen was serving 8 to 12 for racketeering, the developer's assets were seized, and even the senator who backed her resigned in disgrace. Congress passed the Veterans Housing Protection Act, making it damn hard for HOAs to ever pull this stunt again, especially on veterans. Brad became a DOJ consultant, his whistleblowing landing him a shot at the FBI and law school. My friends went back to their lives, teaching, protecting, healing, but we all stayed ready. As for Tyler, the kid's become a force. 800,000 subscribers, exposing HOA corruption across the country, already fielding calls from Netflix and congressional staffers. My own nightmares have eased, replaced by the work, helping vets, fighting bullies, writing it all down so the next guy has a map. One morning, I get an email from an Army sergeant in Arizona. They're using the same playbook. Can you help? I call Tyler. He grins, grabs his camera, and says, "Looks like our work's not done." So, here's the thing. Are you fighting your own HOA war? You seen this kind of thing in your community? Share your stories. Like, comment, and subscribe if you believe regular folks can bring down corrupt systems. Because sometimes, the only thing standing between a bully and their next victim is just one stubborn soul who refuses to back down. And hey, maybe the next story we tell is yours.